Talking about the breaking news from earlier today, and that is that Ward Manuel, the University of Michigan, has fired Matt Weiss, co-offensive coordinator. There was a statement that Ward Manuel put out. We have that for you earlier in the show. And Matt Weiss does not seem to be worried about anything regarding this. However, Maz, you brought up the point. This is a bad look, and yes. I fully understand that. I just don't understand what the bad look means. What that how tangible that is. How does quote unquote bad news affect a program? Because to me, and maybe I'm totally so far off base here, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I think I do. This bad news, quote unquote, yeah, great. Whatever he did, it was enough for the police to show up at his house, to take his computers at Schembechler Hall, for him to get fired by the athletic director. Not good. But what does it tangibly mean? Is it going to hurt ticket sales? Is the Block M gonna people not going to buy gear every football game of the year on Fox, on ABC, on ESPN, whatever they get? Big Ten Network, are they going to talk about how bad Michigan's football program is because they fired Matt Weiss? So that's where I'm at with this.
Here you go. I'll do an example, Ryan Ermanni. Let's say for the sake of talking, what up, B? Let's say for the sake of talking, this has nothing to do with Jim Harbaugh. Okay. Let's say this, whatever this is, whatever this is, it's purely or solely Weiss or someone connected to Weiss or blah 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 blah. Do you remember the Ohio State when Urban Meyer was the head coach? Urban Meyer hired a coach that was abusing his wife, yes, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
Abusing drugs, abusing his wife. And he knew about the situation in Florida and still hired him at the Ohio State, right? The incident comes out, and it's a horrible look. It's a bad look. Urban Meyer gets suspended the first 2 or 4 games. Let's say 4. I think it was 2. Let's say 2. Gets suspended the first 2 games. They went to the college football playoffs, and nobody talked about it again. And then the very next year, after Urban and them left, they went to the national championship. You haven't heard that mentioned one time since then, and that was Urban directly hiring a guy that you knew was in the wrong. Jim Harbaugh and Weiss, Jim don't know what the hell Weiss got going on. This isn't a stain on Michigan. But I will agree with Maz on this. It's just a lot of things happening in a short window.
Correct.
But they're nothing things, but nothing is nothing in 2023. Like, nothing is nothing. Like, there's the Mozzie thing. There's this thing. There's the cheeseburger. There are a bunch of little things. Are they serious, Ryan? No. We talked about it the other day. Who gives it? But at the same time, it's a bunch of things happening in close proximity, and that's why people are out, like, irate, if you will.
You hit it on the head. A lot of things happening at once. And this is after Michigan has gone back-to-back to the playoffs, right? So people are looking at it and like, all of a sudden Michigan's a playoff team. Wow. Oh, Jim Harbaugh did this. Oh, this recruit. Oh, this. Now, that's all I'm saying. If this was Alabama or Auburn or Georgia, Tennessee, and we're watching from the outside, we are saying that something's crooked, right? That's what we're saying. It's not our school, so we're going to say, oh, we knew it. They're up to something. They're dirty. They're doing this. They're doing that. That's what I meant, Ryan.
Yeah.
It's a bad look because of everything that's going on, and Braylon hit it on the head. All these little things coming to light at once.
Let's go to the phone lines. Bring in Noah. How you doing, Noah? You are on WoodwardSports.com. Welcome.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir. Big fan of the show, but I'm definitely with Ryan on this one. I don't know. I love Maz, but I don't know what he's talking about on this one. Like, I feel like it's off season. Like, we just came off, a tough loss in the college football playoffs. So I feel like that's a focus right now. But when we come out next year and blow East Carolina out of the water and whoever else is in our first couple games, like, we're not going to be thinking about this at all. Like, if the story was a little more complex and we had details and stuff, and it was, as bad as some people might assume, then I think we might have situation, but with what's going on right now, like stuff like this happens at almost every school. Maybe not like a computer access crime, but stuff goes on in every program. I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Like,
And Noah,
I hope you're right, Noah. I hope you're right.
yeah, Noah,
Appreciate the call, by the
Noah,
way.
that's a good call. Thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate it. And look, in the reason why, go blue, baby. And the reason why I feel again that I'm not so worried about this from a program standpoint is and I hate to say it like this, but let's just be honest. It doesn't seem to be the ultimate computer crime that most people think of automatically. If that was the case, federal authorities would be involved in this, and we just don't know that.
No, we don't. But all I meant is Michigan all of a sudden is on the map again, and now you start to hear things. So what happens when a school goes from really not playing great football to all of a sudden Final Four back-to-back years? People start saying, what are they doing different now? What are they doing different? And then all these little things come out. That's all I meant. And I hope it's nothing. And I believe it's nothing.
No, you're absolutely right. And we talked about that yesterday, Maz, where I said, you know what, like, no one cared about Michigan when they were 2-4.
Correct.
In 2020, nobody cared about Michigan when they were 8-4 in 2019. No one cared when they were losing to Michigan State or losing to Ohio State like they care now because Michigan is the brand.
You bet.
In college football underneath Georgia. I would never disrespect Georgia and Alabama. But Michigan's the brand underneath those two, and they ain't even want a playoff game. Mm-mm. Now people want to do this, that, and the third. And, Noah was absolutely correct. That's what I was saying, bro. As soon as the season starts, let's say they suspend Jim Harbaugh for 1 game or 2 games.
Hey, spring game's coming.
Over Cheeseburger. Well, the first 2 games are going to be like spring game. So they're going to win the first 2 games. Jim Harbaugh's back. No one will remember this because it's nothing to remember because it doesn't involve Jim Harbaugh. At least I think so right now. It doesn't involve Jim Harbaugh. Like if it does not involve the main coach at an institution or a franchise in the NFL or the NBA or whatever, if it's not the main coach, it's like, yeah, it sucks, but get him out of here. He acted on his own. Let's get somebody new in.
Yeah, and again, short of any actual factual details of why Matt Weiss was fired, we don't know. And we have not heard Jim Harbaugh comment on the firing either. He has been totally radio silent on this whole situation, even from the time January 10th when the news broke that there were Ann Arbor police at Matt Weiss's home. So we have not heard his thoughts on this. It was a Ward Manuel statement. It was a Ward Manuel firing, not a Jim Harbaugh firing.
Where's he?
And I don't know.
I didn't even know he was still high.
Right. I don't know if that's.
No, he's still breathing.
I don't. Look, we're reading a lot into these statements lately, and I don't know if that's another situation to read it. Is Jim Harbaugh on board with this firing too? I think that is something we have to hear about.
Yeah.
That is something that I want to hear about.
Both Harbaugh brothers are tight with this guy.
Yeah, and it is, again, this was Ward Manuel's statement on the firing. Jim Harbaugh has not commented on it. Is this a Ward Manuel way to dig into Jim Harbaugh a little bit?
That's a great question, Ryan.
It's just all of these things that I think of. Back to the phone lines now. Let's bring in
that Philly special really pissed people off.
Fletch on line one. Not
fired.
this Fletch. Is there two Fletches out there?
Not that I know of.
Fletch?
There's more than one Fletch.
Oh my God!
There you go.
How you doing, buddy?
Fletch.
Hey man, I'm down Central Florida. Go Blue and go Gators. I'm a Gator alum, but I grew up blue. So
shout out to the Gators.
Anyway, this is a weird situation with Matt Weiss. It sounds like he's happy to leave.
Yeah, it does.
Seriously,
it does.
It sounds like he's happy to leave, and maybe what he did wasn't so bad, but it was bad enough to force Ward Manuel to make a decision like this. And then also being one of 2 offensive coordinators, we don't really know who is the true coordinator. Maybe he just felt like it was time for him to go, try to get a job somewhere else, and let Schroen step in.
Yeah, it did not. Fletch. That's a great point, and thank you so much for the call. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Go Gators, Steve. Go Gators.
Yeah, I'll throw a little. Hey, Fletch. Do we still have you real quick? Fletch.
No. He's listening now.
Oh, he's a Gators fan. I was going to ask him about
Anthony Richardson.
No, Jaden Rashada.
13 mil.
Yeah. Thanks, Fletch. Appreciate it. Again, it did seem like Matt Weiss was like, "Peace, see ya."
And that's what I was saying. I was like, it's accepting. Like, in the last time I've seen someone do something wrong and be accepting was, like I said, it's the Salalozzi situation when I was with the Jets. So, I think it's both. I think it's one. There's a lot going on in Ann Arbor that I think is going on behind closed doors that we don't know about. All we see is 13-1. All we see is 12-2.
That's right.
But behind closed doors, there's been a lot that has happened in the last year and, well, let's say 14 months. If we're being honest, a lot has happened in 14 months.
Well, look, Harbs don't even talk to Ward Manuel. He goes to the president.
Right.
There's a lot. There's a mess in here. There is a mess here.
I think this is the straw that is going to break the camel's back and start to open some
Who's
things.
the camel, though? Whose back is getting broken?
I'd say Ward's.
Period.
I say Ward.
Full stop. I mean, full stop. Maybe this is his last dig at Jim Harbaugh, for lack of a better way to say it. Maybe this is his last act. I don't know.
Is he getting fired? So he's like, before I get fired.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
I can't comment. Yeah. Let me make this point too, and then we're gonna go to a break because we got a special guest in studio. Let me make this point. I don't know what's going on. And neither do the other people, by the way. Neither does anybody else talking about this story.
Maybe John Yu.
Maybe John, maybe not. What I'm saying is there's nobody on radio today that fully understands what is happening in that situation. So to go all in the negative and to just bury the program, it's all an act. Because it just is. Because you have no idea what happened unless you know what crime was committed other than accessing emails. If you hate Michigan, you'll love this. You're going to go all in.
People have been trying to supplant Michigan for years. Up until now, as it relates to the University of Michigan, this particular year, the only thing that you can point to that Michigan did something wrong is the agent that bought Marcus Reyes' suit was why he missed the first 4 games of his senior year, and or a couple of DUIs by players, no names, in the 2006 or 7. Other than that, nothing has happened at Michigan. This is people really trying to, I know they weren't clean, we're going to find something, we're going to dig something out.
Wait, I'm sure there's going to be a research lab now on all the things that Michigan football players have done over the last 20 years.
Let me be quiet while we're talking stuff.
Oh, man.
Mike G says, Bray, are you going to go for the OC job now?
Right.
And he also said maybe Matt Weiss will be the MSU OC.
Right.
I'd be a wide receiver. I'd be a wide receiver.
Here, I'll leave you with this. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows nothing.
Yeah.